I was sitting here thinking about what to say for the intro, and then I realized you clicked on this video, you saw the title, you know what we're doing. I'm on vacation and we're gonna do a reading vlog. This is actually day 2 or 3 of my vacation. I'm on a cruise, but I've been reading the same book the whole time, so it doesn't really matter. And it's Here We Go Again by Alison Cochrane. This is actually an arc. I think it comes out this summer. I was so excited to get this. I love The Charm Offensive by her, one of my favorites, so I was so excited for this one. It's a female-female romance, and basically they were best friends in middle school, and then the summer before high school they have this really big falling out and they don't get along anymore. They're not friends. The one girl moves away for like 10 years after high school, but now they're both living in their hometown teaching at their alma mater, and one of the English teachers there was like a mentor to both of them, and he is still in their lives now, and they're both really close with him separately, but he is dying from cancer, and so his dying wish is that the 2 girls drive him to his beach cottage in Maine. They live in Washington, so that he can pass there. So it's like an enemies to lovers, second chance road trip book, and so far I'm 52% in, so pretty much exactly halfway, and I'm having a lot of fun so far. They're also total opposites. The one girl is she's like kind of an asshole. That's how she's described in the book. Just sort of very go with the flow, like puts up this unfeeling persona, and the other girl is the complete opposite. She's very type A and she has pretty bad anxiety, and she uses her like rigidity to help deal with her anxiety, if that makes sense. So they're complete opposites, and this book is just checking a lot of my boxes. Like, I love travel books, I love forced proximity, sapphic, and I really like the teacher Joe and that storyline and their dynamic all together. And I really appreciate when an author can mix more serious topics with romance. I just always feel like they hit more when there's like real emotional depth going on and character development, and all 3 of them definitely have that. But yeah, I'm really liking it. I really want to find a few hours, like sit down and read it, because I feel like I've just been picking it up and reading like a few minutes at a time, and I don't really like to do that. I feel like I always like books more when I sit down and read them in just like a couple sittings. So hopefully tomorrow it's nice out. Today it was not nice out. It was windy and cold, and I was also kind of seasick. So the vision I had in my head of me laying out in the sun and finishing this book today did not happen, but we will try again tomorrow, because I have quite a few other books that I downloaded on here that I would like to get to. I didn't bring any physical books for this trip. Normally I bring at least one, just because in my head I'm like, if all else fails and I'm like stranded on a deserted island, I'll have one paperback. But I didn't bring any, so I don't know what I'm gonna read next. I kind of want to finish Heir of Fire. I started that like last month and never finished it. I have a few other romances downloaded onto here, some thrillers. I watched the One Day TV show and I downloaded the book. I kind of want to read that because I loved the show. And then I have a few other art I also got approved for that I kind of want to read. Oh, I started Swift and Saddled, which is the second book in the Blue Rebel Ranch series, I think. The first one was done and dusted, and I read like half of that, so I kind of want to finish that on this trip. And I also have the new Sarah Adams book that comes out this year, and another book called The Breakup Pact. And I also started, it's kind of in a reading slump I feel like the past few weeks. I started a bunch of books and never finished them, and another one of them was Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I love Ali Hazelwood, but that one's very out of my comfort zone, so I was like, let me just like take a break on that one and revisit when I'm like in the mood. So maybe we'll get to that, but first we have to finish Here We Go Again. I laid out today, obviously. I'm a lobster. I didn't get to finish the book, which I was really sad about. I was kind of hoping to just like power through and get it done, but I didn't end up laying out as long as I thought I was going to. Not that you'd be able to tell by looking at me, but now I'm at 75% done. I only have an hour and a half left, so I'll probably read a little bit before bed and then I'll just finish it in the morning. We're going to Aruba in the morning, and my plan is literally to have this Kindle in my hand all day, drink in the other hand, laying on my beach chair. So I'm very excited, but I am really liking this so far. I really like them as a couple and the way that she writes their history and how they have like come back together. And I also really like the side plot of like the road trip and their teacher, and he's sort of going on a journey as well, and he's also gay. He's in his 60s though, so they've been bringing up a lot of like the AIDS crisis, and he was living in New York at the time and did drag. But that's a really interesting perspective I think as well to have in the book and to read about. I'm like at the point of the book where I want to just finish it, but I can't because I have like other things I need to do. But if I was at home, I would be finishing this right now, just like getting it done. Reading update, I think it's been like 2 days since I filmed my last update, but I did end up finishing Here We Go Again, and I loved it. It was like exactly what I thought it would be in a good way, and what I needed, what I was in the mood for. I just loved the side plot and the talk of just living life and living without regrets, and the storyline between them and their older teacher. I loved the ending that they got. Like the ending was just so perfect, and just perfect for me. I don't know, this is just one of these books I feel like was just like written for me. Like it just had so many things I loved about it, and I could definitely see myself rereading this and this becoming like a comfort book. I just really adored it, honestly. I think I'm gonna give it 4.5 stars, but that's just because I'm annoying and I'm really stingy with my 5 stars. And I think I said this before, I do wish I had read it a little bit faster. Like in the middle I was sort of picking it up and reading a few pages and then putting it down. I think if I had actually sat down and like read it, I would have liked it even more. It just was like choppy in my brain because I kept doing that. But overall, loved it. Definitely recommend. I think it comes out April 2nd, so not too long till it comes out. My battery died, but I think I'm gonna read the Breakup Pact next. I literally read like 5 pages of this earlier. I'm literally 1% through. This is also an ARC. I'm sorry if that's annoying. I just applied for a bunch of them thinking I wouldn't get approved, and then I got approved for like 5 in one day, so I'm just trying to get through them. But this one I believe doesn't come out until August, but it's a second chance romance. I think they're ex-best friends who haven't spoken in a really long time, and then they both go viral for their different breakups, and I think they're seen together, and that like also goes viral, so they end up fake dating. I think it sounds like a fun premise, and I love fake dating, so we're gonna give this a shot, and I will check in when I've actually read more than like 4 pages. I'm a little crusty right now, so forgive me, but I think the last update I did, I said I was gonna read the Breakup Pact, which I did read like a little bit more of, but only like 30 pages. I actually ended up finishing Swift and Saddled, which I had started before I left for my trip, and I decided to just finish it because I had already read like half of it. And I think I said this already, it's the second book in the Blue Rebel Ranch series. The first one was Done and Dusted, and this one follows the brother of the female main character in the first one, and the love interest is an interior designer who was hired to renovate one of their old ranch buildings into a bed and breakfast. I have mixed feelings about this one. The first half I really wasn't into it at all. I wasn't really vibing with the female main character, just her personality, and I felt like their attraction to each other was very physical. I didn't really feel like they had like an actual connection, and I just really wasn't vibing with it. I will say I did like the second half better. They do have like cute moments. I feel like they do form more of like an actual bond, and I did like the male main character in this, but I'm just not obsessed. I think I'm gonna give it 3 stars. There's also a side plot that has to do like with her backstory, which I thought was gonna be explored a lot more, and then it wasn't. They really don't get into it, which I thought was kind of a waste because it's kind of, I don't know, I thought she could have done a lot with that and had like a lot of character development, and it was still in there, but I think I was just expecting more from that plot line, and it just fell a little flat for me. I definitely liked the first one more than I liked this one, but it was still cute, and I think if you like Done and Dusted or you like cowboy romances, definitely give it a shot. It's just not a new favorite of mine. And I do think now it's like 9 p.m, 9:04, and I'm getting ready for bed. I don't know if I'll be able to finish another book by the time I go home. I'll probably read tonight, and then we have one more D-Day tomorrow, so I could probably read for a few hours then. But I think I'm just gonna try and read the Breakup Pact. I don't know. Now I'm thinking like maybe I should pick another book I already started, and then I'll be able to finish it. But now that I'm looking, even though I'm literally the queen of DNFing books, I do it like it's my job, I don't see anything. I did start Bride by Ellie Hazelwood, but I just don't think I'm in the mood for that right now. Having to pick a new book is the worst part of being a reader. I just wish that every book I started I was already 30% into. Make my life so much easier. I also have the new Sarah Adams book, The Rule Book, which apparently is a companion to the cheat sheet, which I actually haven't read. I didn't realize that, but this one kind of sounds fun too. It's more of a sports romance. Okay, I think I'm gonna read a little bit of the rule book and then see if I want to read the rule book or the Breakup Pact. Why is this always such a hard decision? I just had to give myself a reality check that I am just not going to be finishing another book before my vacation is over. It's like 5 o'clock on the last day of the trip, and even if I read on the plane and stuff, I just don't think it's gonna happen. So I'm gonna end the video here, but I'm so happy with what I read. A book and a half isn't too bad. I did want to read like another book, but really just for the video. Like, you know, the amount I read on vacation like doesn't actually matter in real life, so we're throwing in the towel and we're stopping at 2 books. Thank you for coming along with me this week while I read. I also did just a regular vlog of the trip. I don't know if that'll be up before or after this, but if you want to go watch that, and I'll have all my other socials linked down below as always. And thank you so much for watching.